Hey guys, Marsegid here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we're going to take TEQ Trunks up against the Fusion ZAMASU Red Zone and see how well he does. This is going to be an interesting one for sure. We have obviously built the team such that we do have our Android/Cell Saga allies. You only need the Trunks friend and then two other ones if you are running the double Trunks leads. So we've got the two future Gohans. We've obviously changed the team slightly from the 55% showcase because some of those are not going to be viable units here. I did bring this guy even though we don't need to have another Android/Cell Saga character, but he is pretty good for this setup. Then we have these guys, because of course they are on Mastered Evolution. Same with these guys from the 55% showcase. Now the problem is Trunks, just very clearly, is not going to be great on turn 1 against Fusion ZAMASU, or even turn 2 or 3, you know, because of the AoE, right? So he's at 170k defense here, 4 links active. The friend is, as you can see, a mix between like 3s and 4s for their links. Now the problem is, even if he does guard, he's going to be taking what, like 200k from the AoE, and then of course unfortunately we have these guys on the rotation as well who are also going to take big damage from the AoE potentially. So I guess we'll play out the turn and see what happens, because of course we only get limited attempts per day, so if we end up having to jump straight back in and then use items, I will just have to do that. But it's oh yeah, okay, so no guard, 582, so now we're dead. So there you go. That is Super Trunks versus Fusion ZAMASU. This is going to be a short, not a video, apparently. So yeah, that is the biggest problem with Trunks. As we talked about in the 55% showcase, people have been talking about it since he came out on JP. Why, if he has a restriction that you have to build the team a certain way in order for him to get the ability to guard, why is it only a chance to guard? Like, that's just ridiculous. It should be guaranteed guard if you've built the team with the allies that he requires, right? It's absolutely ridiculous that he doesn't have it. Mine is full level 10 links, mine is 2 dupes. Shout out to anyone that was on the stream. We got incredibly lucky with a couple of extra summons after the main summons that I put out as the video. But yeah, I mean, we're going to have to do this, and then hopefully we guard. Even if we don't, thanks to the Whis, we should be okay. But yeah, I mean, that right there is the perfect example of why this Trunks is just going to be a letdown. Look at that, 300k. And then he guarded and still took 38, but he's got no links active. So that's with a Whis, and we still take damage, right? With guard. So obviously Trunks, you know, not a slot 1 unit. I don't want to be too hard on him because of, you know, taking damage. Like the 38k with guard, he had no links, and you know, Trunks is just not a slot 1 unit, which, as we all know at this point, any units that get defense or get most of their defensive capability when they super attack are not good against Fusion ZAMASU. That's just, it is how it is. But man, not guarding with a Whis active, we took 300k. Like, that is actually crazy. You know, even unit, I mean, it's because of the type disadvantage, I know, but like, jeez, that's, damn, after 1 super, I know his like post super attack is higher, but even after getting off the super, we're taking that kind of damage from normal attacks as well because of the lack of guard. I'm assuming he's going to take double digits, right? Because this one is guarding, the friend one. But yeah, damn, that's so bad. And then of course that now leaves us in a position where we are almost dead already. So we'll go ahead and do this. At least future Gohan's going to have his full damage reduction here, but geez. Who has the highest defense? It's probably them, right? Yeah. Although I want as many orbs of them as possible, so I guess we'll do this. We still have the Whis active, so I guess no one on this rotation is actually taking any damage now that I think about it, because everybody on the rotation has their own damage reduction plus the Whis. So yeah, we actually can't take damage on this turn, which is kind of funny. Although, of course, Heart Virus Goku, we are going to sacrifice HP when he attacks. Apparently, I forgot to put on a support memory, which I absolutely should have done. But, man, it's just so disappointing. Like, doing that 55% showcase, you guys have seen it by now, I hope. I was genuinely surprised because, you know, I like to I didn't refresh my memory. I didn't rewatch any old videos of Trunks or anything like that before we got to today and he dropped on global. So I was genuinely impressed with his attack stat when he becomes Super Trunks. Like, he gets up to, you know, 600k defense with guard. That's pretty good. Damage through the roof. But, like, the Super Saiyan Trunks part is just so bad. And it doesn't help that he's TEQ, right? Because if Fusion ZAMASU was AGL, it wouldn't matter if he didn't guard for the turn, right? But it obviously hurts a significant amount that not only is he, you know, not the right typing, he's also got type disadvantage. So it's pretty awkward for him. Okay, so if we do this, then we get these for you. See, like, even, oh god, so if he doesn't guard, even with a Whis active, as we saw from like the last turn, if he doesn't guard, we'll actually still die here, even with the Whis up, right? Because normal attacks are going to do still a significant amount of damage to him, which is just crazy. We're not above the HP threshold because he took so much damage, so he couldn't use the active. Because if he had his active on this turn, ZAMASU was only attacking once in slot 1. So if we were above the HP threshold, we could have used his active skill, which has a single action break, and then, oh my god, and then yeah, so my one didn't guard either time. So 2 turns out of 2, no guard. Actually ridiculous. So I guess let's throw a support memory on and jump back in. But yeah, so if we were above the HP threshold, we could have used the active skill, which would action break the first attack of the turn. Then we would get to super first, so we would at least get to get our defense up and maybe have a bit of a chance. But no. So let's try again, shall we? Man, it's not going well, is it, for our boy? So let's do this. I mean, we basically know from the jump that we have to use a Whis. Like, it's just, Trunks is just, I mean, at the end of the day, people are just going to have to realize, like, Trunks is just not a unit that you take against Fusion ZAMASU, right? Now, in this situation, this would be cool if I could actually get, like, if I had confidence, remember, if we had 3 Android Cell Saga allies and it guaranteed guard, I wouldn't use an item here because he's AoEing us after Trunks gets to attack. So even though Trunks doesn't get a huge amount of defense, he gets 70% on super. So that's putting him to what? 300 and something. 30% on his super attack effect as well. He might even get up to 400k defense here. So if he guarded, he would actually, I think, take double digits. Or it'd be like maybe 50k, right, from the normals with no item active. But because we don't know whether he will guard or not, then what do I do, right? I have to use an item, otherwise I could die immediately, which is kind of wild when you think about the state we're in. Like, this guy, I know on JP he came out before the worldwide celebration, so it's unfortunate for global. It's another similar thing to like full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, where on JP he came out before worldwide, and then this difficult content from the worldwide celebration came out, and the unit is just really not suited for that content, and so that really hurts this Trunks, right? Like, if he'd come to global before the worldwide celebration, maybe people would have liked him a little bit more, even though it doesn't fix the issues with his design. And there are quite a few, right? Like we saw in the 55% showcase, some of the issues came up straight away. Like, he needs to attack twice or 3 times on the first turn. If he only attacks twice, then you need the active skill on the next turn, otherwise he isn't transforming on his 3rd appearance. Now, fortunately, we did get the hidden potential additional here, but we didn't get any crits, so he did no damage for the entire turn. And then if he doesn't guard here, we actually probably die, even with the Whis active. Oh my god. So yeah, that was the friend one this time, but there you go. There's another Trunks not guarding. So we only just survive. Unfortunately, because Gohan has his own damage reduction, he can't take damage now. But good lord, like, that's with a Whis active and we almost died. It's actually ridiculous that he's this bad. For this fight, I guess. Like, I guess again, it's a bit harsh for me to get too down on him when, you know, it's the fault of the fight more so than it is him, because, you know, AoE, TEQ, super hard hitting boss, sure, but boy, is it disappointing to get a new release. Because remember, for Global, like, we don't have the Omega fight. If we had the Omega fight, he's in at the end. But at least by the time you get to the end, Trunks has probably transformed into Super Trunks. And at that point, that's when he starts to look good. Whereas this guy, against Fusion ZAMASU, I mean, again, like we've talked about a lot in the past, especially when it comes to Fusion ZAMASU, there's a lot of units that are just not good against him, and if you're going to run them or their team in his event, you're just going to use items, right? Like, if we ever get a mission in the future that is like, use 6 Android/Cell Saga team characters to beat Fusion ZAMASU, we could use Trunks' team, but we just know that we're just going to have to use items early on. So we did at least guard this time. Because, yeah, otherwise you just don't guard or, you know, just get clapped, and it is not good. So, very disappointing. I think Trunks is another one of these units that we've seen a few of recently, that if we get some content that goes back a little bit to the older format of being a little bit easier at the beginning and building up to the difficult parts, then Trunks could be quite good, right? Like, we're obviously still getting these new stages of the new movie bosses Red Zone on JP, which assumingly as part of the Wrath of the Dragon celebration will come to Global in April. If the final boss of that Red Zone ends up being like the first phase's AGL and isn't particularly hard hitting, then this Trunks could end up being really good against that boss, even if the final phase is in. Because at least at the beginning, when he's at his weakest, he has that little bit of protection, the chance to like get built up and stuff. Like, then he could actually be kind of good. But in this situation, like, man, he just is not in a good spot, is he, for this content. So we'll go ahead and do this. We will get these here for you. Now, fortunately, mine did, or this first turn one did get the extra attacks on the first turn. So he will obviously always get a minimum of 2 attacks, because he has a built-in additional that only, it's the chance of it becoming a super, but he will always do an additional attack. So on the next turn for this rotation, turn 5, he will be able to transform into Super Trunks, and that's when things will get a little bit easier. We'll get guaranteed guard, we have the Ghost Usher active skill. That's when Trunks can really start to go off. But it's just the fact that we, in this event especially, just have to keep him so protected at the very beginning so that he doesn't get completely destroyed. And as we've seen, like with the Whis active, if he doesn't guard and ZAMASU super attacks him here, we're going to die. Also, with him being tech, like, we're not getting any crits. So we're doing 0 damage. We're on turn 3 and we've done 2 bars of HP. And of course he supers Trunks again. Okay, Trunks dodge. Whew. Yeah, my Trunks, this isn't the friend Trunks, but my Trunks and the friend Trunks both have a lot of dodge. But yet again, he's not guarding. So he's taking 80k from normals post super attack. Like, jeez, man. Why? Why is his guard not guaranteed when you build the team with the specific restriction that they want you to build the team around to, like, unlock his abilities, but they couldn't even give it to him as like a guaranteed thing? Like, actually wacky. I don't know what they were thinking with this guy. Like, all you have to do, unironically, is you make it guaranteed guard with the 3 Android/Cell Saga allies, and he's like 10 times better. Because you can see here, we've got a Whis active on this turn, but with the guard active, he's not taking damage through a Whis, whereas without the guard active, he is. You know, almost getting killed. We took, was it 600k from that early turn super with the guard active? Like, that is just, without the guard active, with 600k with a Whis active is what I meant to say. Yeah, that's kind of wild. The new Dokkan Fest that's just come out, post super, with a Whis, 600k. Now, again, type disadvantage, so getting clapped by a tough boss with type disadvantage just kind of is a thing that happens, right? But still feels super disappointing. I mean, we're going to get to turn 5 here now, and we've done 3 bars of health to ZAMASU, which is very, very bad. Obviously, it doesn't help that we have units like the Blue Boys using them as a slot 1. They obviously don't do a lot of damage. Trunks only getting a bunch of additional normals means that he's doing like no damage. But now it's Super Trunks time. The problem is, Super Trunks gets guaranteed guard and a guaranteed additional super for 3 turns. So now is when we really need to start putting the screws to ZAMASU, which I guess we can do, especially because we'll be able to use your active skill as well here. So now we can kind of get cooking a little bit, because now you're going to get a ton of attacks, guaranteed dodge. You can go in slot 1. We'll do this, and now hopefully this is where we start to go off. But I wonder what Trunks takes from the AoE, because Super Trunks, I should have checked his start of turn defense. His start of turn defense is only, I think it was around just under 300k. Oh, he dodged, nice. Just under 300k when we did the 55% showcase with no support. But now, of course, my one and the friend one are 79%. So he's going to be around 300k with guard. I think ZAMASU's AoE does, what, like 500k? So it would be 200 if it was type neutral. He's got guard. So it's what, like 100k at most? I'm not sure exactly what the guard modifier is. But, yeah, I mean, fortunately, we should be good for this turn now, because Vegito's going to do a bunch of attacks here. Then Trunks gets at least 2 supers guaranteed that are guaranteed crits. And then we can move on to physical ZAMASU. So you can see it's like a war of attrition at the beginning. We have to use all of our items, like just hold fast during this firestorm at the very start, and then we get to this turn and this is where we start to pop off. Like, think about how much damage we've done on this turn alone compared to the first 4 turns, right? Actually crazy. So this guy's just under 10 mil. We get the crit, we get a guaranteed additional attack that puts him over 10, and then let's see, can we get the hidden potential as well? We do, and that puts him to 10.5. So that will finish ZAMASU. So now we should get, because he should have attacked 5 times, right? The other Trunks will now do his transformation. And this is where Trunks really does start to show his value, because we should be above the 60% HP, which means Trunks will have his active skill, which is the Ghost Usher ability. Then we'll go back onto the other rotation with the other Super Trunks, who will then be able to use his Ghost Usher ability, because we couldn't use it on that first turn. So this is where things will really start to get a bit crazy. So we can go ahead and... Okay, apparently we're not on... are you serious? We're on like 68% or something HP. You've got to be kidding me. So I guess we don't really have much of a choice here but to use the Spirit Bomb. I think we might actually die this turn, you know, unironically, because the Heart Virus Goku, as good as he can be against the first phase, he's not going to be super good here. So, oh, thank goodness, it can activate mid-turn. Oh, because I think the other one, I'm not sure if it actually can, but there you go. So... fortunately, we can use this. So let's put the animation on. Oh, I was going to say, I was getting a bit scared for a second there. So it can activate mid-turn. So that is good to know. So we can activate mid-turn. We get a crit. We do our Ghost Usher ability. So bye-bye all of your attacks. And then make sure we get a bit more health here. And then we'll be good for the next turn, because we're not going to... we can't lose any health. Well, actually, I say that. We're going to lose health from Heart Virus Goku doing his super attacks. But because we know it can activate mid-turn, I did deliberately save a whole bunch of AGL orbs at the side there. Specifically because at the beginning of the next turn, we'll be able to pick up all of those with Vegito Blue. Because have we dropped? I think we have dropped just below 60% again. 11.4. This is my Trunks now, right? So he's 2 dupes and full level 10 links. So yeah, 11.4 and then up to 12. So juiced up with actual support, he's going to be pretty spicy. But there's got to be a team build we can run him on. I'm trying to think what of all the categories that he's on. There's got to be a team build we can run him on where we also have Bulma on the team. So we could get that Bulma buff and then have a unit actually on rotation with him as well. And then we could probably get up to, what, 15, I reckon? Which would be kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, Super Trunks, he can go, but you just got to get to Super Trunks, which against an int boss that does AoEs very often in slot 1, you're definitely fighting an uphill battle when it comes to this Fusion ZAMASU fight. We should have the fight in the bag now, though, because we're going to get onto this turn. We grab all the AGL orbs with the Geo Blue. We get the heal. That gives Trunks the active skill. We use Trunks' active skill, and then we win, basically. But, man, it took us how many attempts and both of our Whis and a support memory to get here, but we did at least manage to get here. But, boy, was that... He definitely made it hard for us, so we'll go ahead and do this. Of course, to end things off, I guess I could have put Trunks in... No, I couldn't put Trunks in slot 1, because I had to get the heal to get the ability. So I was just going to say, it's unfortunate that it won't be Trunks that gets the finishing blow here. It's going to be Vegeta Blue. But, yeah, I mean, Super Trunks. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I said, I feel like this guy just needs a slightly longer event, and maybe with the first phase being AGL, and then you probably could fly through and like no item that boss with this team, just because of how good Super Trunks is. I mean, I can't stress enough, like, as much as I am very much disappointed and disliking like the overall performance of the AGL Trunks, especially in this video, because it's RNG, right? It's 50-50, it's a high chance it's a coin flip, but like, how many times did he not guard in this video? Super disappointing. But then when Super Trunks comes out, he's really good. So it's such a weird, like, yeah, it's such a weird split. He goes from being terrible to being really good, but in an event where the first boss is in and does AoEs, that's obviously just not good enough, right? But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you did decide to summon for him, I hope you got good luck, but hopefully you did not summon for him. But yeah, sound off in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.